Hey everyone, Izzy from Endless RV. I'm out here with Chuck Lasley from National Indoor RV Center. I'm going to say NIRVC for short. We are having a upgrade done to Nelly. It's really important. If you watch YouTube, you're going to know why we're doing it. We're going to be having ProTang fire suppression installed. Chuck's going to explain what it is, how it works, and why it's really important for RVers.
So ProTang is actually an acronym for Protect Your Engine. It started in the race car industry. The founders of ProTang started in the race car industry. They one year had 8 fires in their race cars, needed to find something that was going to protect both their drivers and their cars, and so found they needed something to do that, and so ProTang was discovered. So what ProTang is a fire suppression system that is the solution to protect a whole coach, not just the engine. A lot of you are probably familiar with an engine fire suppression system, and that would just, as the name implies, just protect your engine. In this case, we're able to use a tube like what we have over here. In this case, we're going to use a tube like this. And it looks really simple, I know. If you take one of these caps off at the end, you'll see a brass fitting right here. And so what they've done is they've put inside this tube a liquid called FM200. The liquid is the fire suppressant in here. When the tube heats up to between 300 and 350 degrees, it will turn into a gas, and the pressure inside the tube will build up so much that it'll have to escape, and it'll escape at the hottest point of the tube. So the entire tube surface itself can become a potential valve point. If the heat or the fire was the hottest on this end of the tube or device here, then that's where it would open up or burst. And so then the fire suppressant, the FM200, would come out there with such pressure and such cold that it would put the fire out. It would take all the heat out of the compartment. So in this particular case, we're prepping this tube to be placed, this device to be placed right here over the propane tank. So if a fire were to erupt in this compartment, we know that based on the volume of that compartment, we have enough fire suppression agent in this tube to cover this compartment here. And so it's a one-way valve in here, so we know that it's not going to leak out. There's a shot of nitrogen inside there. So as we inspect this tube on an annual basis, we know that there is FM200 inside there. It's a clean agent, so it's non-toxic. It's safe for humans and pets. It leaves no residue. We're kind of last to the table with this in the RV sector. So NIRVC actually has the exclusive rights to the distribution of this to the RV industry, but it's been being used actually in the boating industry, in trains, in airplanes. It protects the International Space Station. FM200 itself protects the Declaration of Independence. So it's a well-known substance used for fire suppression. So right now, what Corey's doing is just trying to understand from the space where the best points of contact to be installed in the compartment. In this particular case, he's putting the device over the top of the propane tank. We like to put a ProTang device in any area of the coach next to any element that might have the propensity of catching fire. Our hope is that we can catch the element before it has a chance to spread. And so we can put these devices literally anywhere inside of a coach. There's about 10 areas in a coach that we like to put it in a standard install. We have folks that have had friends or people that they know that have had a fire, say behind their dryer. That's not part of our standard install, but we can put one behind a dryer. We had a gentleman that had a friend of his that had his rooftop air conditioner catch on fire. Can we put a device in a rooftop air? We can do that. Some folks have had their tow vehicles, actually their brake seize on their tow vehicle, and so they have asked us if we can put a ProTang device in their tow vehicle, and we can put one in their tow vehicle as well. Virtually anywhere in the coach we can put a ProTang device. That's really the primary purpose behind ProTang. It's not really to save the coach. We know that you have insurance to take care of that. We want to make sure that you have the time it takes to get yourself, your loved ones, your pets out of the coach in time. We want to make sure that you're safe.
So we've been watching Corey, do the installation. Seems to be moving very quickly. One of the things that really kind of got to us, well, two things. A couple of years ago, we were at a RV show. We had a person that was in the fire department that was working at the RV show, just talking about fire safety, how important it is. And we did a video talking about fire safety. But another thing, one of our friends, fellow YouTuber, Andrew Steele, if you've watched him, he had his Newell coach literally go up in flames on the side of the highway, lost everything in that coach. And that was really a big thing for us. So about how long does it take to install this? And then I would think for each coach is a little bit different. How do you guys decide where you're going to put it? What's that process like?
Usually a standard install is going to be around 2 hours. So what happens is a tech is going to look at a coach. So every manufacturer is a little bit different. Compartment size is different for each manufacturer. The volume is really what we're measuring in each one of these compartments, and that's different for every manufacturer. So for example, on your coach, you have your propane tank right next to your generator. In other manufacturers, those could be on opposite sides of the coach. And so we're really trying to decide if we can use one device to cover multiple areas. And so a lot of times, I was in an Integra the other day, they had their AquaHot right next to their inverter, right next to their transfer switch. So we could use one tube to cover all three areas. And so there's a lot of times where we can minimize some of that cost by covering multiple areas with a single tube.
So you said this is fully customizable. I'm assuming there is going to be how much you recommend protecting. And then of course the customer has a choice of, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I have a higher probability of this. So just a ballpark figure. And then we're going to talk about what we're having protected on Nelly. You guys did the evaluation. Where are we having covered on our coach?
Yeah, so on your coach right here, you see you have your propane tank. It's definitely an area that we're going to want to cover. You probably can't see it. We try to make it fit in with everything. It's right above the propane tank is where Corey has installed the device. We put it right in the generator casing. You can see the end of the tube right here. So he's putting it right in the generator casing. And then back here, he's going to put it right in with the furnace or the water heater. He's going to put it right in there with the element. As we come right back here with the transfer switch, he's putting it right back here, right around the transfer switch. So every area of the coach that has a probability of or potential of catching fire, we want to make sure that we have a Protang device right next to it. So here we put a device right above the inverter, and this is a heavy duty inverter because I know you guys have lithium batteries. So we've got a big device there, and then we've doubled up on the devices here on your lithium batteries. So we've got two devices here because you've got a big tray of them. So we want to make sure to get those covered.
Now, we show you everywhere where we're going to have the Protang put in. People are going to want to know, what does something like this cost, of course, but you want to stay to the end of this video because we're going to share a special discount code through our channel along with NARVC. It's going to save you a couple of bucks, and it's good through June 30th.
Right, yeah. So because of the complexity of these beautiful machines, these home on wheels, there is some looking that we have to do, and we need to be able to take a look and decide with one of the techs to measure the volume of all the different compartments. So there is a wide range of how much it could cost between the different models and floor plans. So right now it's hard for me to give you a real cost as to how much it could be. So it could be anywhere from 500 to 5,000, everything in between. So really the best thing to do is just to let our techs have a look at it and give you that cost is really the best way to know.